Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering the biggest mistakes that ruin a good book. I get it. You want to push forward, you want to publish your book and get it out in the world, but there's so many things, little things that can hold you back and keep you from having the book success that you want if you just keep rushing forward and don't stop to really get these things right. By the end of this video, you will learn the fallacy of AI in book writing, why many books fail to generate revenue, and why you need to take the time to get this right in editing and design. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. You can do so many things right with your book. You can write an awesome book. You can take the right steps. You can organize it the right way. You can even find the right audience. And yet, there's so many things that can still go wrong. Book writing is the ultimate challenge. It's like walking on a tightrope. You know, and one of the things that is so valuable when I think about books is working through the struggle. Sometimes the struggle is worth it. I think back to the movie Click with Adam Sandler and Christopher Walken. Adam Sandler's character has this TV controller where he just skips ahead, you know, and skips through the boring and the mundane. It's those struggle points that give everything meaning and force us to look inward and say, okay, I don't feel right about this book. Something's not sitting right with me. What is it? If you don't go through those struggle points, if you don't really dig deeply on it, you're going to miss the opportunity to make the book as good as it is. So that's the first step really in thinking about it, is like embracing the struggle. Because if you don't embrace the struggle and you have no friction along the way, you're just writing and publishing it and you're not thinking deeply about it and you're not challenging yourself, you're going to write a lackluster book, and you're going to write a book that doesn't resonate with people. AI writing ties in with that message rather strongly too. I see more and more frequently with AI that people are using AI as the be-all and end-all and using it to fill in their text. You know, hey, I don't know how to bridge this gap, so I'm going to lean on AI for this. AI writing is, A, it's based on other people's writing. B, it's not copyrightable. C, it's important to inform people if you do use AI. D, your book isn't going to be traditionally published if you used AI. There was actually recently a book author who wrote a fiction book that was popular, it was self-published, and they were able to get a traditional book deal. And the traditional publisher picked up the book and was ready to publish it. And then they found out that sections of the text were written by AI, book deal gets pulled, everything blows up. Just disappointing, you know? And I think with AI writing, it creates ease. It solves all your problems, but it doesn't really solve problems. You know, look, I use it sometimes for simple things. Give me a title for this email. But when we're looking at books and we're looking at the challenge of writing a book that resonates and is original and unique and different, you need to really bring your problem-solving skills to the table and find a way to do it, because AI probably isn't going to give you all the right answers. Another big mistake that allows good books to fall short is the wrong call to action, or a call to action that doesn't lead to the outcome that the author wanted. You know, if you want your book to lead to lucrative speaking engagements, you need to put yourself in those rooms. You need to connect to the right people. You need to have a book that allows for that to happen. You need to have a message that resonates with people that want to book you as a public speaker, and be able to have a lofty kind of message that draws them in. You know, it needs to be on the right topic. And if it's not on the right topic, then it's not going to be the outcome you want. You need to figure out what your outcome is and reverse engineer. You know, what's the outcome, and now what do you need to do to get there? And you can take steps in the meantime. You know, this isn't just about the book. It's not like you just put out the book and everything happens. You need to do things around it. I work with authors who are public speakers, and their speaking engagements come through in deep effort. It's not so-and-so put out a book, let's book them for a speech. It's networking, it's connections, it's building on the platform that they have. You need to do things, whether it's on social media, whether it's through local groups, whether it's through some other means. You need to do things to build up, to allow for your book to be successful. So when you do release the book, it's right there, boom. When I think about the biggest mistakes I think the biggest one is not regarding editing or design work properly or trying to jump ahead when faced with those tasks. Your editor is there for a reason, and you want to have editing that brings up the problems. You want to solve the problems before you publish the book. Because if you publish the book with problems, if the editing's not strong enough, people are going to diminish the book's rating on Amazon and other platforms, and then Amazon and other platforms will not promote the book. These sites typically won't promote books that are under a 4.0 rating. So your book needs to be well written and well edited and well designed, because people are going to review these based on all of the elements of the book. If the cover is bad, if the design's bad, if the paper stock is bad, if all these things are bad, you're going to get downvoted. You're going to get bad votes on there, and it's going to diminish your opportunity to promote and achieve the right outcomes for your book. Another mistake that ruins good books, and this isn't necessarily about the book itself, but afterwards, is distribution models. Where are you promoting and selling the book? If you don't have your distribution figured out, you're never going to reach the right audience. A lot of people will focus on just putting their book on Amazon, set it and forget it, everything's great, but their book is getting overlooked, ignored, underappreciated, and then now it's not in bookstores because Amazon doesn't deal with bookstores. Bookstores work through a company called Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is the distributor that distributes books to bookstores and booksellers around the world. So if you want to be on Barnes & Noble, for example, you're going to work through Ingram Spark. You're not going to work through Amazon. Amazon is its own vehicle, it's its own thing. So you really need to think about where you want to put the book, where you want to have the most success. Giving your book the right opportunity, you can have all these pieces lined up. You can have a great book with a great call to action. You can do all the steps on your own to build your platform. And then if you don't distribute the book in the right places, people aren't going to find it. All these things need to connect. And that's the struggle, I think, with books, is walking that tightrope and having to navigate. You think about TV shows, movies, other creative endeavors, and all the things that can go wrong. Oh, this wasn't in the right theaters. This didn't get the right team attached to it. This could have been shortened. This movie or TV show was bloated and overlong. There's so many overlaps with that. I just think the creative process creates challenges. And then it's this balance of rushing ahead, the commercial side of it versus getting it right. You want to get it right because this book is forever and it's timeless, and you want it to stand the test of time. If you want to learn more about the biggest mistakes that ruin a good book, I'd love for you to check out my website. It's writeagoodbook.com. There I can teach you all the good tips, all the good strategies, making sure that you have everything lined up to have a successful book and a successful book launch. Whether that's tips, insights, free lessons, to book a call with me, whatever it is, I'm happy to help however I can. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.